All right, good morning. I'm saying good morning because it is 8:41 in the morning where I am. If it is not 8:41 in the morning where you are watching this, then please just input whatever greeting of the day is appropriate. Today we're going to be talking about for each loops as well as some more if statements and even some addition. So let's get right into it. We have the content of the output file from our favorite fruit application, and we are storing it as the variable data. So now we will create a for each object loop with the variable data. And what that's going to do is for each and every entry in that data set, it will execute the commands within our curly brackets. For our interest, we are going to be performing very basic analysis, determining how many people selected which options. And for the sake of this exercise, we only care about a couple. And that is because in a later episode, I will show you how to make user input the same, how to have a selected list of objects we want them to be able to choose so we can avoid users being able to select the potato as their favorite fruit, which is actually an example within this data set. So we'll create an if statement and say if $_ which simply signifies the program the current item in the loop, if $_ is equal to apples, then we will say apple count equals apple count plus 1. Yep, I'm not sure why it's underlining everything in red. I kind of hate that. But moving along, it should fix itself. And now we'll say if $_ equals potato. Oh, I see why. Always proofread. If it is equal to potato, we will say potato count is equal to potato count plus 1. And if it is equal to, I think plum is in there as well, go ahead and set plum count equal to plum count plus 1. And at the start of the program, what we will do, because I intend to run this multiple times, we will make sure we set apple count equal to 0, potato count equal to 0, and plum count equal to 0, because if we don't, it will run from the other variables and give us an incorrect number. So now we will write host, apple was selected, apple count times potato was selected, potato count times, and last but not least, plum was selected, plum count times. And we will run this application and find that apple was selected 3 times, potato was selected 1 times, and plum was selected 1 times. We will verify that manually. We can see apple 1, 2, 3, potato 1, and plum also 1. So through that you can see it's simply adding a number each time it finds it within the loop and then giving you an output of what the total selected count is. This is not the best way of doing this, but this is a perfect example, continuing on with our fruit, of a basic for each loop, as well as using addition to simply count. There's easier ways of doing this, but we will get to those later. Now, let's say you would like to get a little more advanced and try and figure out which how many times, let's say, apple wasn't selected. If $_ is not equal to apples, then not apples equals not apples plus 1. And so apple was not selected, not apples times. And we'll go ahead and leave these values in here, but we'll set that equal to 0. And we can see here Apple was not selected 6 times. Let's go ahead and verify that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3 of which are apples. So therefore, with some basic subtraction, we can tell that the program was correct. And that's kind of your introduction to these conditional operators. So you have equals to, not equal to, and those are going to be pretty much your bread and butter for evaluating these strings. You have contains, you have is like, and you can just find a list of all these operators and figure out which one suits your fancy. Because we saw in a previous example where I said in a while loop, while quit is not equal to true, making it false, or you can say while quit is equal to false. That's really just going to be your preference when you're evaluating things. So that is your basic introduction to for each loops with a little refresher on conditional statements. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and if you liked it, make sure you like the video. See you guys next time.